Okay, I have just one question. Can we deal with this right now?
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the X-Transbots Commander Stack. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. Right up front, we have a nice image of Commander Stack. He is City Commander, Commander Stack. On this side of the box, we have a very nice quote here. It says, "Thirst for victory leads to defeat. Not tiring of defeat leads to victory." Oh, that's deep. So deep. On the side of the box, we have that image again, the quote, schematic-y stuff, Commander Stack on the top, Commander Stack. On the bottom, we have these two. Oh, foreshadowing. On the back of the box, we have a nice little G1 image here on the back, and we have the G1 tech spec card with a bio if you want to read it, and that's basically it for the packaging. Also included is the collector's card with that same image of Stack, and on the back, again, you have the bio, you have tech specs. If that interests you, hooray for cards. And moving right along, here we have Commander Stack, and this is X-Transbots' take on a Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. And here he is in his robot mode, packed in robot mode, and yeah, looks fantastic in robot mode. Looks like he jumped right off the screen. I think they did a really good job here with the design. I think he looks fan-freaking-tastic. Let's get in close here so we can take a look not at his Ultra abs, but at his Ultra noggin. There's the Ultra noggin. You can see a nice Ultra Magnus-y face sculpt there, just done in white with the blue in the eyes, the blue helmet, the white little horns, antenna, whatever they are. But a nice head sculpt. Then you got the typical red, white, and blue paint scheme that is Ultra Magnus. You do get some little molded details here and there. You got the shoulder missiles. Well, no, nicely done. The front of the thighs are made of die-cast. Also, a little bit of die-cast in the feet. These inner parts here are die-cast. I don't think there's any other die-cast in the feet. I don't think, but don't quote me on that. You got the wheels there with the silver chromed rims. Moving up the back, so you can see very clean transformation. Everything just tucks away very nicely. So overall, a very, very clean robot mode. And now articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you have some wiggly-waggly. You can look up a little bit, down a little bit. Head can do a full 360. Arms can do a full 360 on a soft ratchet. You have outward movement at this hinge here. You also have outward movement on this hinge here. So you have 2 points of movement, so you can get that arm out. You do also have bicep rotation. You do have a double-jointed elbow. If you just bring it up far enough, it will actually extend the forearm a bit, so it gives you that extra range of movement, and then you have to just kind of take it, pop it back in. So that's pretty clever how they got that to work. As far as the hands go, the articulation is a bit limited, just due to his hands being kind of inside a little pocket here. But you can rotate, can do a full rotation, again, due to the hands being in this little pocket here. You kind of move the thumb around, you can kind of get around, but, you know, it's a little bit of a chore to kind of move the hands around, just due to it being kind of encased in this. As far as the fingers go, you have fully articulated fingers. The ball joint is on a hinge here that allows it to move up and down. You have a hinge right here, and a hinge right here. And each finger is on a hinge at the base. You have a hinge right here as well that allows you to splay out the fingers. And you also have a hinge here and a hinge right there. So you have some nice posable fingers. As far as the waist goes, moving on down, we do have waist rotation. You also do have a nice ab crunch here. If you go too far, you're going to disengage some stuff, but you have a nice ab crunch here. You can see it just pops up. Side to side movement as well. It's kind of squeaky, but hey, all that is there to work for you if you need it. Moving on down to the crotcheo region here. We got these skirts that will move out of the way, so the legs can move forward that far. You can do the big boot. Back, you can move the butt flap out of the way also. Back, you can get about that far. Outward, You get about almost a full splits. You got thigh rotation. You have a bit over 90 degrees of bend there at the knee. And as far as the feet go, his big old feet, he's got some big old feet. As far as the feet go, they can move up. They can't move down, but you do have nice ratcheting ankle tiltage. Now, as far as accessories go, he does include his blaster here, which is done in a nice metallic blue. That's the typical tab in the slot of the palm. Method weapon holding, but does tab in nice and secure. He can hold it and he can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff right there. And he does include the human version of himself, which is nicely painted. There's no articulation on this. It's just in a static pose, but still nicely done. And just for comparison, here it is with the human Springer, just so you can see those two together. So that's how that works out. There he is next to Magnus himself. He's a little guy. Little guy. And you do also have 5 optional faces. The one that's on him right now is just the regular stern, serious face. To swap the faces is very easy. You just pop off the front of the helmet, and you just rip off his face. Give me your face. And yeah, you just have that going on. And you just take whatever face you'd like, and just pop that on, pop on the helmet, and now we have Serious Magnus with his chin painted silver. The eyes are open a little bit wider, so that's one option. You can also have Magnus blowing you a kiss. Confused, perplexed, constipated, who knows? Dang it, open! And Smiling Magnus, which really is the creepiest of them all. Now, coming down here to the chestial region, we can open this up, open his chest up, and I actually like how they have some molded detail in here, even a little piece of transparent plastic, which is kind of funny. You're never going to see it when the chest isn't open, but nice that they include that bit of detail. But he does have a holder for a matrix. Now, this is kind of odd because, well, here's the matrix for MP10. And that is too small. That is too small to fit in there. Here is the matrix for MP44. This is the knockoff MP44 matrix, but it's the same size. And that, again, too small for this. The one that I have that does fit is the matrix for MP01, the first Masterpiece Prime. That one does kind of fit in there. It doesn't fit securely, but it's the only one that I have that actually works in there. So, hey, things you can do. I'm assuming that whenever their Galvatron comes out, that Matrix, if he does have a Matrix, will fit in here, but so far the only one that seems to fit of the current MP Primes is the MP01. So, there you go! And one last feature to talk about is the electronics. Yes, this figure does have electronics, but on my copy anyway, they don't work. He is supposed to have light-up eyes. His eyes take 2 LR621 batteries. I put them in. They worked for all of 2 seconds and then they stopped working. So I don't know, but there is this little triangular button right back here is what would activate the lights. You push that, his eyes will light up. You do get a pair of transparent eyes that you swap out so the light can pass through the eyes. But like I said, on mine, it worked for a couple seconds and then just stopped working. I don't know. Now, he also does have a voice box. That's right. This Magnus can talk. So right back here, this battery compartment takes 3 LR44 batteries. I put them in, and you push this top square, that's the button, and you will actually hear some voice phrases from a person doing a pretty good Ultra Magnus impression. But I put the batteries in, pushed the button, and nothing happened. I thought, oh, maybe I put the batteries in backwards, switched them around, pushed the button, nothing. It did nothing, so apparently the electronics were just DOA on that front. So, yeah, I wish I could show off the electronics, but on my copy, they don't work. Oh, well, not the end of the world for me, not a deal breaker, because I don't use the electronics anyway, but still would have been nice if they worked. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with the X-Transbots, Springer, and Cup. With the official MP and the fans' toys, Hot Rod, you stand. Yay. With MP44, Optimus Prime. Here he is with G1 Ultra Magnus because he's precious. Oh, so precious. And last but not least, here he is with the official Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. So you can see how these two look side by side, see how all of this works out. And we'll give you a little turnaround here. So you can see, don't you lean back, so you can see who's who, what's what, where's how, why is when. You can see definitely a difference in butt flaps there. You can see how that's working out there between these two. So, there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode, which looks fantastic in my opinion. But let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's! So, we're going to be here a while. It's not one of those transformations, but it's a lot to do. It is definitely a lot to do, so let's get started. So we're going to start off with the legs. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come back here, and we're going to take this inside panel, flip this out. We're going to open up this panel here. Once we've done that, there's another panel we need to undo. It's just this little panel right here. Just kind of want to get up under that and just undo that, just to free that up. You can open all this up and then take all of this and swing this up and out like that. So once we got that out of the way, we basically just want to undo all of this. You have this little T-tab. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little T-tab in here that gets sandwiched in between these two parts. Just undo all that and get that out. And we have a bit of like an automorph feature here. This piece, when it comes down, it'll push in a little bit in here, and that will compress that in. And that'll also push these wheels down. So just bring all that in and all that going. You can see it just kind of extends the wheels down. Not a lot, but it brings them down enough that they will roll. This white panel here, you want to untab it from the back of this T-tab and bring it around to the front. We can just bring that down here so we can see what's going on. We have this little panel here, which is going to open up and flip back, and just leave that alone for now. That stays up like so. We're going to then close up this section here. You want to take this panel and just bring it in a little bit, because this panel is going to end up going in this groove right in here. Just take that, just angle that in like so, and then just close up this ankle joint here like that. So all that is sitting flush like so. You can bring that up. There's a tab on the front as well, so you can just take that and lock that in there. So you're now going to take this section, just swing this up and just extend all of this like that, and we'll just start working on all these little bits here. So this little panel, you're going to flip all the way up. You're going to take this, rotate this all the way around. You have this little panel here that will flip in. You have a panel here also that we can flip out, and that will just sit there like that for now. And now this red section here is a tab slot connection for it, right up in here. So let's bring that up, tab that in like so, and there you have that side pretty much done. Second verse is just like the first. And once you have both sides done, one thing you want to make sure this red tab does go into the slot that it's intended to go in. So just line that up and tab that in like so. So once we have that done, we're going to just flip out. There's this little F-shaped hook right here. So you're just going to bring the legs together, hook that in, and then you can tab these top sections together. And you have that all done for now. So we're going to move on up. Now for the arms, you're going to take the shoulder missile and just bring that down, get that out of the way. You want to kind of pull forward on this front panel here so you can pop this out like that. Get that out of the way. you want to take the top part of the shoulder here and just open that up like so. And that will allow you to then take all of this and bring it up. And then you can just rotate the arm down. Now you want to pull the shoulder out. And you want to pull it out until you hear it click. It will snap into place right there. You know you have it out far enough because you'll be able to take this little panel here and push it in, and it should sit at 90 degrees like so. Once you've done that, you can rotate this section up, bring it up, and again you have to kind of flex plastic, which I'm not a fan of, but there's a little groove that will sit in, and that will just sit right there like that. You can take this, bring it up, there's a little port for that to sit in, and that will sit right there like so. So now we move on down to the forearm. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to rotate it around just so we can grab a hold of these two sides of its forearm and kind of wiggle this. This will open up like that. And just bring that out. You have this little gray panel here. You're just going to bring down, and then that will just come down, wrap around the hand, and close up right there like so. You now want to take the forearm and just extend it all the way. That's kind of tight, but there you go. Pull that out like so. Rotate this back around just so you can flip this panel down to fill in that gap. Then just rotate it back. And that's how you want all of that looking. And again, the second verse is just like the first. And there you have both sides done. Now, one thing to note, if this slider is a little too tight for you, loosen these two screws right here a little bit, and that should help. But then we have the arms all done, so now we move on back up. So now you want to come back here, and you want to open up these sections. Just pop that open, do it on either side like that, and that will allow you to then swing the arm out. So what's going to happen here is you want to take this little section and rotate it out. Now on mine, they seem to slightly misfire that pin, so when I swing this out, it always sits out at an angle. It doesn't straighten out, but it doesn't affect anything. You don't even really notice it. Again, just my copy, but just something to note. But anyway, once you've done that, you want to then take the shoulder and start shifting it out. Bring it out halfway because you have this little panel here you want to straighten out, and then you can just bring that over the rest of the way like so. And there's also this little panel right here you want to just take and flip down, and there you have that side all done. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And now that we have both sides done, we can bring the gun into play here. So the blaster, just fold in the handle, and what's going to happen here is we have this tab right here, which will go into this slot right here, the second one. This one right here in the middle. And then we have a tab right here that will go into a slot right here in the blaster. So you can just plug that in, and we can take the arms, just plug them together. There are two tabs right here as well. And there are also two tabs up here at the shoulder. And there you have the arms all connected and ready to go. So now our next step here is we're going to extend this whole waist section as far as it will go. And then we're going to just give it an extra tug, and this section will undo itself. And there's one more bit we have to undo. Basically, you just want to kind of grab hold of this hinge right here and just give it another little tug, and all of that should come undone. So you're going to end up with that looking like that. That's weird, but hey, it's the way it works. So then you can compress this waist section back down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the butt flap. Bring that up, angle it up. And what's going to happen here is we have this tab right here, which will go into this slot right in here. So just angle that up, and then just bring that in, drop that down, and that will sit in there just like that. And now that that's done, the arms are now in position to tab them into place. Now these tab connections are super tight, so I don't plug these in all the way. I recommend you don't either. As long as they stay in place, you're all good. But if you clip them in all the way, they're a nightmare to get out. So just make sure they're in enough. So I have that done. Now moving on back up here, we got some work to do with his noggin. We can just take this whole panel his noggin is on and just extend that up. We can rotate the smokestack out. Now this part of the smokestack is on a slider, but it's really not easy. Oh, there we go. That time it worked with me. Pull it out, pull it snaps, and then just rotate it forward. like that. Same thing on the other side. Just rotate that out, and maybe if you're lucky, you can get your hand on that. If not, then you might need a tool to help you slide that out. Again, pull it out until it snaps. Rotate it forward. Now, another thing you want to do here is you have these little sections right here that you want to flip around, and to do that, you just want to get in underneath, and you can just push them out like so, and just push that like that, and they should be out enough that you can just grab a hold and rotate them the rest of the way up. Like that. And that is how you want that looking. So once you've done that, next thing to do is to grab a hold of this entire back section here. Just take this, swing this out. This little panel here will open up as well. Swing that out, swing all of this out. You have multiple hinges here that you also want to extend, so just pull it upwards and extend all these hinges here. And you want that looking like that. At this point now, we can lay them down. So now that we're here, we do have these tabs that will drop into slots right here into these blue sections. Just line that up and just drop that down on either side. Like that, and that should look like that right there. So now that we are here, what we need to do is we need to do a lot of work here with the cab section. We got a lot to do with the cab here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start unfolding and moving a lot of panels around. So bring this out, bring this little panel up, extend all of this out. You have this panel here which needs to slide down. Bring that up, and then take this, wrap this around, and that will come around right there like that, and come in. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just bring that up, out, bring all this out, take this, slide this down. This one's a little bit tighter on mine. Slide, slide, lift, and slide. Come on. There we go. Boom. And over. And wrap all this around, and once you've done that, the two halves will tab together like so. That's how you want that looking right there. So now that we have done that, you can take these side panels here, bring them out. You have this little section here you're going to rotate up like that, and then you can bring this over, and that will just sit under that panel right there, like so. Same thing here, just rotate this up, bring this over. Again, just swing that in. That will sit under this panel and just sit right there like that. So once you've done that, this entire assembly here will just come up and out like so. And once that has been accomplished, you're going to take this whole windshield section, and all of this will pull out. Make sure everything is sitting flush. You can kind of bring these doors out, and all that will sit right there like that. And then you have tabs and slots up here that those will sit in. So just line that up and get everything popped into place. Oops. Try to get everything popped into place. There we go. Like that. And once you do that, you can take these doors and close them up. So we have that bit done. So now what we can do is we can take the shoulder missiles and just get them out of our way. So take these, swing these out to the side. They're on a slider, so slide them all the way down. And just rotate that. This little fin will rotate up, so it's sitting the way it's supposed to. Lovely. And do the same thing on the other side. Oops, that came undone. How dare you? How dare you? This is what happens when, oh, that's snapped in. That's going to be a nightmare to get out now. Oh, well. But bring this around. Swing this down. And rotate this up. And there you go. So now that we have done that, so back to the cab here, you have these little sections right here, which you're going to bring down. There's another little panel here that will flip up to make the wheel well, and there is a tab slot connection for it. That will just sit there, just like that. And then same thing here, just bring that down and swing that up and tab that in right there, like so. So once you have all of that done, you can take all of this, make sure all that's sitting where it's supposed to, make sure the head is straight, and you just take all this, swing it up, again, make sure everything clears, and you have tabs and slots, and everything should just come together, like so, and like so. And there you have that. And now for this front bumper, you just want to take this, rotate it all the way around, make sure you clear stuff, and then just bring that forward. This part you kind of have to, again, flex things around, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not sure if there's a more elegant way to do this. That seems to be the best way that I found. But just take that and just kind of pop it forward like so, and then you can just kind of compress all this up so it's sitting a little bit more flush. And there you go. Then we can take the little side view mirrors, we can flip these out, and there's the cab mostly done for now. So a quick note on this tab section here, since I did accidentally clip it in all the way. Now this is scary to undo because this is not really being held on by much. So this is, it's scary, but the easiest way to do it when you're going back into robot mode is to just split the arms. Just untab the arms, and you want to twist this section inward like this. So you just grab hold, twist this in, and you'll see it start to undo itself, and then you can just pop it right out. So that's the best, less scary way to undo that. So now to finish off the cab, we're going to come under here, and right here is where the battery compartment is for the voice box. That doesn't work on mine, but anyway, you want to take the wheels here and just flip them out, angle that out, flip it out, and then all of this will just slide up. And there's a little tab slot connection that will just drop right into right there and right there. So once you have that done, you're going to take these tanks, swing them up. There's a little extra bit you want to flip out like that to finish out the tank, and then flip this little panel up like so. Then just bring this up. There's a little tab slot connection for it right there. Just swing it behind, and that will sit right in there like that. Line that up, and there you have that done. Second verse just like the first. Just bring that out, flip this up, flip out this little section of tank, bring that up and around. That will tab in, and that will sit there. And there we finally have the cab completed. So the next thing we need to do is we need to maneuver this little kind of bar tab thing section around. So the way to do this is you want to take this and you want to rotate it up. And this is not the easiest thing to do, but rotate it up so it's sitting like that. And then once you do that, you can swing this out and straighten it out so it's sitting like that. If that is too hard to do, you need to loosen that screw. If you don't have the clearance, loosen that screw, and that makes life a whole lot easier. So there we have that done. So now what's going to happen is we're going to bring this section up. You want to take this little curved piece right here and bring that out like that. So what's going to happen is you have this tab, which will go into a slot right in here. And you also have a little lip that will sit over this section as well. So just kind of swing it in. If you have everything lined up, that should just drop right into place. So what's going to happen now is we're going to take this curved section, and there is a tab and a slot right here for it. So you have to line this up, get this into place, and tab that in. Once you have that in place, you kind of want to hold it there. And you have a little T-tab that will drop right in there. So if you have everything sitting right, that should just slide right up and sit right there like that. And what's going to happen here now is you have this little tab, which will go into a little slot here on the bottom. Let's give it a little push, and that should drop right in like so. And of course, do the same thing on the other side. And now that that's done, we're almost there. We're at the home stretch. So what we need to do now is grab hold of his crotch, and his crotch will shift up on a double hinge and sit right there like that. So now to finish out the bed here, we're going to take this, bring this up. We have this long panel here that's just going to accordion outward, like that. You want to push it back. And there's a tab right in here that'll go into a slot right here. So you just line that up. And if you have it just right, that should just drop right into place. Once that is done, you bring this down. There's a little tab slot connection in there. If you have everything just right, it will pretty much just kind of seat itself. Right in there. Like that. And of course, we're going to just do that. Again, just bring all this up, accordion, extend, push all this back. Again, if you have all that right, that should just tab right in. Bring this around, and tab that a little bit in. Again, if you have everything just right, it should just pretty much seat itself, like so. Come on. There you go. And there you go at long last. Get everything straightened out here. There you have Commander Stack, aka Ultra Magnus, in his alt mode. He doesn't spin, rubber tires. We know it's not going to spin, but there he is in his alt mode. And it looks good. It takes a lot of work to get there, but it looks good once it's all done. I can work with it. I can work with it. Oh, piece came undone. There we go. Yeah, it does look really good. Once it's all together, it's a process. It's a process. Not one of those transformations. Not one of those transformations, but it's a lot to do. The engineering does work well though. But it's just a bit of a process. But let's get in close here so we can take a look at the details. You got the nice silver right up front here. Got the side view mirrors. The doors can open. You do have seats in there, although there's not a whole lot of real estate in there, so I don't know if you could actually fit anything in there. There's even a steering wheel in there. I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but there is some detail in there. And you got the silver smokestack. This back panel here I can never get to sit totally flush. It just doesn't want to totally close up, so there's a little bit of a gap there, but all in all though, I think everything looks quite good. You got some nice chromed silver rims all throughout. All of the tires are rubber. And there is the back, and there is the top, and there is the bottom, and he does roll, as rolling things should. Hooray, hooray for rolling! Yay, rolling! And for comparison, here it is with MP44 Optimus Prime, so you can see how that works out. And here it is with the official Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, so we can see how this works out. Now, in my opinion, I think the X-Transbots version wins in vehicle mode. I just think it looks a bit better, a bit cleaner. I like how it has the, the full bed back here, whereas on the official, you can still pretty much just see his legs and stuff just kind of hanging out there. So this one definitely looks a lot more, complete in alt mode, but as always, to each their own. And of course, here he is with G1 Ultra Magnus, because he's precious. Oh, so precious. Now, as far as articulation goes in truck mode, the cab can rotate, not a lot, but you get a little bit of movement there. You do have an option as far as where you want those missile launchers to go. If you want them at the side, you just leave them like that, but you can have them in the toy configuration by just sliding them all the way down, and you can swing them around. You can also rotate this up, so you can have that fin pointed up, and you can have them right there. So you can have that going if you want to. As always, options, they're good. And of course, we can open up the back, bring this ramp down, and we can have one of our MP Carbots drive up and sit right in there. As always, things you can do if you want to do it. And here he is with Human Magnus. A little too big, but hey, displays, things you can do if you want to. So there you go. So there you have Commander Stack, and you know what? I do quite like him. The robot mode looks fantastic. The vehicle mode looks really good too. The transformation, it's not one of those transformations, but it's a lot to do. It's definitely an involved transformation, but the engineering does work. You might have to make some little adjustments to make things work a little bit easier for you, but once you do that, everything works pretty well. Unfortunately, the electronics don't work on my copy, but it is what it is. Not a deal breaker for me because I don't use the electronics anyway. Still would have been nice if they worked, but oh well, not the end of the world. So all in all, I am quite pleased with this guy, and I think he's going to end up replacing the original on my masterpiece shelf. Yeah, I think he's the new Ultra Magnus. He's going to be the new Magnus on the shelf, I think. Yeah. So... there you go! Now, I picked this up from TF Safari. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below. And if you use the promo code 2022 EmGo Review at checkout, you will get a discount on your order. And of course, you can also get X-Transbots figures from BigBadToyStore.com, as always linked in the description down below, so you can check that out. You can also check out my third-party Transformers playlist for any reviews you may have missed, also linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGames, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the X-Transbots Commander Stack, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. You know, Ultra Magnus, I think you would be a worthy successor, should I fall. No, but Prime, I'm just a soldier, I'm not worthy. Huh. Nor was I. But one day... What? Him? Him? You want him to be leader? What are you, crazy? You're stupid? You out of your mind? Jeez! He has issues. Yeah, I noticed. Somebody should keep an eye on him. He could get somebody killed.